But the one story that I have seen in the past few years that I was just like, I can't go there. That's just flat earth stuff is the Brigitte Macron, Emmanuel Macron, President of France's wife, was accused first by French journalists and then by my friend Candace Owens, who's one of the nicest people I've ever met, actually.
Yeah, she's
very smart.
She's incredible.
She, and everyone's always, Candace Owens a hater. Candace Owens is the opposite of a hater, but she's a very kind person. But, anyway, but she comes out and she's like, I will wager my professional credibility on the claim that Macron's wife is actually a man. And I was like, oh, Candace Owens, I love you, but I think this is too crazy.
Yeah.
And then it turns out she's right.
Yeah.
What is, so can you just explain? My mind is blown.
Well, my wife has been, by the way, the Candace Owens pieces on this are phenomenal. And so I'll be sitting there, my wife, I'm like, what are you watching? She's like, I'm watching Candace Owens' whole deep dive on this. So let's give credit, I'm giving full credit to Candace Owens on this for really opening this story up from the French journalists who first broke it and then were, I think, like ostracized or basically told not to report it. So that, yeah, I mean, he's a groomer. So, the fact that Emmanuel Macron was a child and this man takes him under his wing and is a groomer, uses the identity of another human being. I mean, I'm definitely shortening the story in all of these ways, but I don't know the full details the way that Candace does for sure. But Brigitte Macron is a man who groomed Emmanuel Macron, and in their, the amazing thing to me is the French portrait that they have, the presidential portrait or whatever. In the background, you can see like a pedophile book that's painted in on purpose. Like you can't make this stuff up.
What?
The official French portrait painting. There's in the background of it, you can see basically a pedophile book that's been painted in on purpose. And other paintings that Brigitte Macron was famous for having around in the palace. All these really awful looking things that, you've got pictures of a barn here. The stuff that Brigitte likes to hang around is like pedophilia stuff on the walls. So it's incredibly crazy.
What is it with pedophilia? I mean, pedophilia is one of those things that it's like, it's so, and I can relate to almost any sin, but I just want to be clear. I'm not being holier than thou. I mean, I've done bad things. I have had, bad impulses. I can kind of understand why people get pissed and shoot each other or steal or, I don't, but I get it.
Road rage. Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
There, but for the grace of God. That's how I sometimes feel. But pedophilia? That's something that I can honestly say with a clean conscience never even occurred to me. That's so.
Yeah, I can say it too.
What is that?
And to me, and what's it's on its surface is it's absolutely terrible. But then when you go even a layer deeper, when there's a whole mechanism protecting these people who are all actively involved in it, in Hollywood, in Washington D.C., funneling. I mean, again, not to go back to it, but it's all part of this operation with these elites who, when you have these children, for instance, in Guatemala, 197,000 Guatemalan children that were funneled into the United States and were then funneled to be used in the sex trade in the United States. The United States is the largest purveyor of child sex trafficking in the world. The world. And we bring more children into the United States and are used for sex slavery than any country in the world. When Trump was asked, where are these children, these 300, 400,000 children, and Trump said, I think they're dead. Trump was honest about it. They are. They're used and abused and thrown away. And so when you have people like Brigitte Macron who are like groomers of children, it makes sense that they would be protected.
It does.
And these elite circles. It's incredibly disgusting.
Boy, I never thought I would get to a place where I would nod as somebody said our elites are trafficking children for pedophilia. But actually, once you see what's going on, it makes sense because what is pedophilia? It's a spiritual, it's not, I do think that it's more than just a diseased sexual impulse, though. It's clearly that.
Yeah.
But it's the desire to defile purity.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think the appeal is you take a child who is pure, physically untouched, not corrupted by adult desire, and you destroy that.
Yeah.
And that's the charge.